If you've tried journaling countless times but still feel like it's not for you, yet you're curious about documenting your life in a more creative and artistic way, this style of journaling might completely change the experience for you. Instead of writing long paras, imagine capturing little moments of your day through simple sketches, stickers, doodles, and tiny illustrations that make your journal feel a little interactive and more alive. And if you're someone who doesn't always have the time or energy to sit down and write pages every day, this approach can feel much more relaxed and enjoyable. I first discovered this style of journaling last year when I read Draw Your Day by Samantha Dion Baker for the first time in Jan, and I instantly connected with it. I've always been someone who writes about my day, and I still enjoy doing that. But I love the idea of simply carrying a pen and sketching little snippets of your everyday life. The food I ate, the things I cooked, the places I visited, and moments that I want to remember. Now, there are different forms of art journaling, but in today's video, I'm going to be showing you specifically how I art journal or how I draw and doodle my everyday to capture it as a memory in this journal of mine. For that, you can take any journal that you have, and let me show you some supplies that you can use to journal every day. So, you can use a simple pencil that you have on hand, or you can use a mechanical pencil. If you have a gel pen or any uniball pen, a fountain pen, anything will do. A simple ballpoint pen will also work. If you live in Canada and if you have a dollar store behind you, you easily get these supplies. And right now, Dollarama also has this dupe for Micron. They have it under the brand Studio. The zero point 0.3 nib pen is really good. I generally use that for writing in my doodles. If you have the budget for it, then go ahead and you can get a micron pen. You get a single pen for around $2.50. And a little fancier version is the Sakura Pigma pen, which is zero point 0.6. And that is something that I will be using in today's journaling session. Now, for today's journaling session, I am going to be using all the ephemera that I have collected from yesterday. Ideally, I journal every day, but for the purpose of this video, I wanted to journal, with you guys. So here's how I collect my ephemera. I think about, what I did every day. I maybe, sometimes I write, or sometimes I just sit with things that I received in the day, or that I just, found every day, or just happened with me in the day. So, like yesterday, I had a client of mine gift me a gift hamper, and in that gift hamper they had like a lot of food things that they gave me, but they also gave me a hand cream and this chewing gum. So I thought that, okay, I will doodle these things. Then in the evening I went for dinner with my husband. We went to Old Spaghetti Factory, so I kept the receipt of our dinner. And then, while on our way out, I also got the crayons that they generally have for kids. I requested if I could borrow one, and they were okay. We also sat on table number 65. So that's something which I realized, once I saw the receipt. And these crayons, even though they are in a bad shape, I was thinking of, either using them in my journal, or maybe I will sketch with them or draw with them, color with them. Then I also, use the transit. So I got this transit single adult ticket that I will be sticking in my journal. And then you'll, of course, need a pair of scissors and some kind of glue stick to glue things on in your journal. Now, you can either cut these things in, you can paste it. If you have more of junk journaling things that you collect in your day, you can go ahead and stick it in your journal. If you're not comfortable to draw with it, that is also a form of art journaling according to me, because you're still expressing, and art is all about expressing. So here I am just going to be using this the single adult ticket that I have. I'm just thinking of folding it and either sticking it in my journal, and just want to start this process by gluing things in. And once I glue everything in, then I will think about how I want to draw, how I want to use the space in my journal to write things and my emotions about that day. Now, I don't generally like sticking a lot of things because this specifically is going to be my memory keeping journal. I do have another book, sketchbook, that I use for junk journaling. This is specifically to draw and sketch and, document my emotions through drawing and doodling. So I thought of starting either with the crayons or with this hand cream, but I think the hand cream is something which I want to draw first. So I'm just holding it in my hand and I am sketching just an overall feel of, like, the sketch of the hand cream. It need not be perfect. For me, art journaling is not about, you know getting a scale out, getting things out. Of course you can get your stencil, can get fancy things to draw in your journal, but I think more of, like, if I were to sit in a transit, or if I were to sit in a park, in a cafe, and journal, will I be able to carry all these things around me? I won't. And I want to keep my journaling process as simple as possible. And hence I am, just getting the outline done and then sketching in or drawing in finer details. This is something which I learned from the book, where the author Samantha, she mentions that, just use everyday things, start with easy doodling, and then go on to the complex emotions or complex sketching. I want to stick with simple things which are easy to draw and document in my journal. That's something which I am focusing on in today's journaling session with you. Another way of drawing in things in your journal is also by taking pictures. Now, for this dinner, I didn't have a picture of the minestrone soup that I had. So I just went on Pinterest and I looked for minestrone soups. And, when I look for pictures, I try to see something that is easy, something that was close enough to what I ate. Now, this is an easy picture. I can easily draw the carrots here, the beans, and it was easy. But the pasta that I had in my minestrone soup was macaroni. So I think this is a better picture. And for the plate, I could have, just drawn a circle, but I did see this tape on my desk. So I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna, use this tape to draw a circle, but that felt really big. So I had this lid of a tin. And what I'm trying to, use here, or what I'm trying to convey by using these things, is that you always don't need to have stencils or fancy equipments or, fancy pens to draw. You can use and be a little creative and, use whatever is on your hand at the moment. The whole idea is to document your day and not to worry about what we see, what the other person is using. Like, if I were to use a stencil here and you might not have a stencil. So this used to happen with me, right? Like, if I'm watching a video where somebody's showing me a reel of using fancy colors, immediately my mind would be that, okay, I cannot, use an art journal because I don't have those colors, I don't have the equipment, I don't have the talent that they have. But what I've realized over the years is that it's not the things that they use, it's the practice that someone shows up to every day in their journal that helps them to get over their fear of drawing, get over their fear of writing, sitting with your emotions, and just being with yourself. So here I'm drawing the Alfredo pasta that my husband ate, and I liked how I'm just using half the sketchbook. Now, this wasn't planned, right? Like, I didn't sit with a plan in my brain that, okay, I'm going to be drawing a hand cream here, I'm going to draw crayons here, I'm going to draw the chewing gum here. The whole idea is to just sit with whatever you want to draw and then let your intuition guide you. Now, initially I wanted to use the crayons to color things in, but I also know this paper is really, it's kind of buttery, nothing really sticks on it. It's a very thin GSM scrapbook paper, so there's no point of using watercolors on it. I've used it earlier and it was a very bad idea. So I'm just using these crayons, and I know that these crayons are not the great quality, but the whole idea is to document this memory of mine that, I got these kids crayons and I thought it was really cute. And I'm just coloring this minestrone soup with a red color. And now I'm going to just focus on getting the outline really dark so it stands out and it really looks good. And I'm writing what I ate. And once I'm done writing what I ate, I'm going to be I did spend 5 minutes to think about, how my day was. Not maybe 5, but like a couple of minutes to think about how my day was. And I didn't even realize, right? Like I was sitting on table number 65 when I saw the receipt. Like even when we paid, I didn't even realize that we were sitting on that table. When I came home and when I sat with the receipt, or when I saw the things that happened during the day, I realized that, oh my god, I was so grateful to have this day. And that is something really beautiful about journaling. When you look back at your journals, when you look back at your journal entries over the years, you realize that life has been really beautiful. And there's so many things to be grateful for. So I'm just writing in my journal everything that I'm grateful for, everything that we ate and how I felt and why we went to Old Spaghetti Factory. We never really go there, but it was after many years that we stopped by because the food was really, we were hungry, and I think we wanted to grab something quick but not fast food type, and my husband was craving pasta. So I just wrote about that. And I'm missing the rain. So here's a day that when I drew on the 5th of May, as you can see, there's not a lot of writing, but today on the 6th of May, there's so much writing and so many emotions that I wanted to express. I hope this video inspires you to sit with your journal and doodle, little things that you felt during the day. That was everything from me. I will see you in the next video very soon. If you like this video, do give it a thumbs up and consider to subscribe to this channel so I can share with you more of my journal pages and flip throughs. Thank you so much for being with me today.